Good morning again. I'm sorry about that little technical difficulties. I'm going to discuss about the most important reason why we're here, right? The Ambassadors for Peace, as we watch the video, it looks fun, isn't it? It looks glorious, but if we think behind the actual details of how much each Ambassador for Peace invested their efforts and time in every community that they belong, it is not an easy task. Establishing peace is a dream, still a dream for all of us. So today, as women leaders, we are going to try to do that as well. And with a little bit different formula, a new paradigm as women leaders, let's try to do it this way. For the last hundreds of years, our world leaders have tried it. And sad to say, it's not successful yet. So let's try. And I hope that not just try, but really work hard on it. I came back to Philippines, my home country, about a year ago, more than a year ago. And during those months that I was here, I had such a culture shock that there were only two ways for me to be able to survive. Either adapt to the environment or provide a solution and make it right. And my heart and mind says, I have to make it right. So here it is today, here I am today, and here we are today, working together. We're going to find the solution on how we can accomplish the peace that we are dreaming of. So, the Women's Federation for World Peace Philippines is working together with the Universal Peace Federation, with the Ambassadors for Peace, and today we called all of you, and we are so grateful that you came, because this is a historic day. This is the first time that we're going to discuss, the Ambassadors for Peace will discuss on how we can solve the problem of our nation. There's a great need, there's a great problem that we need to solve, and we need a great solution. And we need great women leaders who can do just that, provide the solutions. Please bear in mind that it's not all the time it will be glamorous as we are today, dressed up, dolled up. We will be in the communities. In the realities of our life, it's not really glamorous, right? Even in the front line of a woman, which is the home. When we take care of crying babies, cooking for our husband, balancing work and home, it's not that glamorous. But what is glamorous, what feels glamorous is the love that we have in our heart, how we maintain our dignity and our value as a woman. Do you agree with me? So today, we are going to talk about the mission of Women's Federation, the Mother's Hearts Network, which is a project of the Women's Federation for World Peace. Mother's Hearts Network, it sounds just beautiful to me. It rings to the heart. Mothers, we all have something in common. We all have heart, and it transcends social status, whether we are the first lady or we are nobody's lady, right? So, when you say Mother's Hearts Network, it's the heart of the mother, working, yearning for a world of love and peace, together with our beloved husband and our beloved children. And today, the Women's Federation will go into more detail on the knowledge, tools, and the kind of support that we want to give to our ambassadors for peace, so that our ambassadors for peace are empowered, educated, and becoming the expert. Our ambassadors for peace will become the pioneers of peace in every community. So our vision is by 2020, we're going to multiply, not 20,000, 20 million strong women who are the standard bearers of truth, beauty, and goodness. 20 million strong. So, can you picture in your mind what it looks like and what would it feels like in the year 2020, that's 6 years from now, where all the women in every single household, your grandmother, our mother, our sister, our daughters, they embody, they're the standard bearer of truth, beauty, and goodness. What kind of family would we have? How would it feel? What kind of community would we have? What kind of Philippines would we have? Maybe, the Napoles story will be like a history far, far away. Like we don't even know that it existed because we erased it all. That's how Women's Federation envisioned our world to be in 2020. Now the problem is, do you believe that it will happen by 2020? I got a few yes. I would have liked to hear like, yes, The fact that I believe that it will happen, and you are here today, very important ladies and community leaders, then I believe that it will happen. I have no doubt in my mind that it will happen. So we have to be confident. You know why? As a woman, we are all born to do it. We are born to do it. 6,000 years of God's yearning to see one woman bloom. And it's not just women today. We have thousands. We have thousands of ambassadors for peace worldwide. And we have these women here. We are the hope of Philippines. It is a national campaign to end corruption, all forms of corruption. So when I talk to people, especially those in the political arena, they kind of, when I say it's a national campaign to end corruption, and they feel like it's a bit strong word. But actually, I want it to be for all of us to make us understand that idea that corruption is not just political. It's all forms of corruption. So it is a formula. It is a network of women working together to end corruption. So when we try to end something that is embedded in our culture, how do we end it? It's not easy. By myself alone, I cannot do it. Women's Federation alone cannot do it. We all have to work together. We better work hand in hand. I would like to see all the women organizations, even from the Nanay Senior Citizen organizations, from the Young Women's Organization, from the smallest village in the Philippines, all the way to the Malacanang Palace. If we have that desire, and consciousness, we can all do that. You know, like the CSW, CWL, Catholic Women's League, Couples for Christ, so many millions of women, right? I want Mother's Hearts Network to be that kind of household name. Then when we say, what is Mother's Hearts Network? We are the women who are the standard bearers of truth, beauty, and goodness. And when you declare that you are the standard bearer of truth, beauty, and goodness, you better be one, right? Truth. So truth is like, oh, we cannot lie anymore, even little lies. We cannot lie anymore. We cannot lie to our children, you know, so we have to be conscious of that. Beauty. So when we say beauty, I think of being beautiful, you know, not just about facial and whitening and all that, but being beautiful is just an outside manifestation of what we are inside. So if we are beautiful inside, if our heart and our mind is beautiful, even if we are not that beautiful, but it will exude beauty. And everyone around us will be attracted to that beauty. Goodness. If we have that in mind, that I am a member of Mother's Heart Network, I am the standard bearer of truth, beauty, and goodness, I'd better do something good today, even just one, okay? I mean, I will say, realistically, I live in the world full of selfish people. My neighbors, sometimes, you know, we feel like our children, our husband or brothers and sisters are a bit selfish. But it's hard to do good. It's not easy to do good in the world mired with evilness and selfishness, when goodness are not the culture. But if we try every day, we wake up in the morning, I am the standard bearer of truth, beauty, and goodness. So I want to do one good thing today. Either, you know, making something really special for my husband, or for my daughter, my neighbor whom I have not spoken to in 5 years, or, you know, the one that I hated the most, or my co-worker who always despised me, who prevented me from getting promoted. Maybe I should give a gift or something to, you know, for reconciliation. Those little acts of kindness, but those little acts of kindness can make us beautiful from inside. So if we think of Mother's Hearts Network, we pay attention to the single details of our lives and then connect it to how we model ourselves, our children. When we have that kind of upbringing and education, we eat one week and then it becomes a habit, 1 month, 1 year, 10 years. And then gradually, you know, it becomes part of us. And then we will forget about what selfishness was all about. And we will forget all the resentment that we have. So we provide a holistic training. Not just this kind of conference we have, but we go to the barangay levels. We go to the barangays and teach our women how, our mothers. There are mothers who became mothers without having had the fortune or opportunity to be educated properly. Someone could be a college graduate, but don't have the proper education on the original value of a woman and the mothering and parenting skills. Those education that has been and that was ignored or less attention from our government, we will pay attention and we will work to help, work together sincerely. You know what is our weapon? It's our heart. The power of heart is, what do you call that? You can't defeat the power of the heart. So once your heart is determined, no one can stop you. Is that right? So let's go into our communities and let's become the standard bearer of truth, beauty, and goodness. Mother Moon said, Dr. Hak Jahan Moon, she's the founder of Women's Federation for World Peace. The history of today is calling for peace, reconciliation, compassion, love, service, and sacrifice. It is an age in which the present problems cannot be solved by the masculine logic of power. Our problems can only be resolved by the feminine logic of love. Isn't that beautiful? So mother's role. If we look back in history at the family of Adam and Eve, who was the original culprit of the fall? It was Eve. It was the mother. She could have prevented the fall. Can you imagine? Just imagine for a bit. What would have happened if Eve didn't listen to the archangel or the snake? There would have been no sin in the Garden of Eden, and we would be living in this world without sin. It might be a new concept for a few of you, but for most of the ambassadors for peace and in Universal Peace Federation, Women's Federation, we really adhere to that standard. We really understand that the value of the woman is, we have to understand, in order to solve our problems in the society, our present problem, in our family, in our country, we need to look back to how the history has started and who made the first mistake and how to fix it and reverse it and make it right. And that is the woman. The woman holds the key. Do you agree? We have the key. We have the key to our house. We have the key to the man's heart, that our children's heart. I forgot who, there's a famous quote that says, the hands that rocks the cradle rules the world. And that's us. That's the mother. If we raise up a child and made that child, take care of that child to grow up to be the king of the world, we are the one who raised up that child. And even as a woman, very simple woman, can you imagine? Love has no boundary. Can you imagine? Let's say there's a king, the most powerful king in the world, and this king is in love with a simple commoner, very poor commoner. But even that power of love from that simple commoner woman, the king, if he is heads over heels in love with this commoner, he is willing to vacate his throne to be with this girl. Even he can lay a red carpet on the ground and kiss the ground that she walks on. Isn't that nice? But that's true. How many of you have experienced the ultimate experience of being loved by a husband? True love by a husband. How many? So many women are abused, cheated by the husbands. I want to liberate. I want to erase that kind of feelings. I want to, that is the most what is that? Humiliating and it can lower our self-esteem when the husband doesn't love us. The husband's love is it's a representative of God's substantial love to a woman. We should all experience that. I can say I experienced that. God blessed me with a husband with a beautiful heart, and being handsome is an extra bonus. So, but yes, I would like to share this with you. Last year, 2 years ago, I was with the granddaughter of Mahatma Gandhi. So I had a chance to attend her and took care of her during the conference. And she asked me, how is your family? How's your husband? And I said, my family is doing well. My husband is good. He's a very simple man. He's not beautiful heart. And I described to her my husband's love. I said, my husband's love is so beautiful that it's like he takes care of me like a precious jewelry. But then he lets me fly and he puts me in a pedestal and lets me fly, you know, gives me the wings. And she said, wow, I want to write it down. So can you imagine, you know, a person like the granddaughter of Mahatma Gandhi wanted to write down how I feel about love. So every one of us, we should try that. But did I get to that point like that, imagine? No. There was a point when we wanted to kill each other. There was a point when I wanted to run away. You know, I think most of us all here are married, but it was the point where if I had to get married, I have to be happy. And I have to establish a good family, and I want a family that God can live with me together. If I have a family who always fights or curses and complain, do you think God would like to live with us? No, right? So the basic, very basic, that is as a mother and mother's heart. These are the simple truth, the simple pieces of knowledge and wisdom that mothers' hearts would like to cultivate and make it grow and becomes a virtue and let it live in our house. Because the knowledge that our educational institutions are teaching us are based on the culture of fallen human understanding. Right after the fall of Adam and Eve, they didn't know God. They didn't know what was the original system of the positions of the husband, the wife, the God as the father, the family as the object of God's heart. We should have that kind of standard. So this is the ingredients of the formula of establishing a nation without corruption in these little details. So if our family is intact, healthy, and the relationship between husband and wife is not corrupted, the mother and children is not corrupted, then from one family, it will expand to your neighbor. You will automatically be a good, nice neighbor. You know, you will not be a grumpy neighbor. I have a neighbor in America who's really grumpy. So I'm like scared to go to her. But one day, I wanted to break through that ice. But I can't, you know, like, it was hard. All I did was just smile. And then, you know, she smiled back and we became friends. That's all, you know, just open our heart and then start the day with a smile. So we need to partnership with the community. We are here. We invited you here to partner with your women organizations. We cannot do it by ourselves. And if we partner together, then we can become a powerful force that can change the course of our history. And we will become, each of us will become that historical person, historical women. Each of our names, each of you, ambassadors for peace, pioneers of mothers' hearts, are the women who pioneered the history of a nation, a culture of love and goodness. How would you like that? Your name is embedded in history, and your children and your grandchildren will be proud of you. And the children that we raised up, we teach them. If the children knows and watch us, automatically, sometimes we don't even have to say it. They just watch us. They can feel it. Children relate by heart, not so much in language. The moment they were born, they relate by heart, by vibration. So they know what kind of vibrations we emit to them every day. The love that we give to them every day, that will raise them up to become future patriots of the nation? How would you, some here today, and in Bohol, I came from Bohol, the pride of our province is we are the #1 producers of priests. Even in my family, I have a sister who's a nun, and that's a pride of the family. But how about a hero, a patriot? When was the last time we saw a most celebrated patriot? How many years ago was that? You know, Dr. Jose Rizal, 150 years ago, everybody put his statue in the town, right? His weapon was just his pen. But for us, our weapon is our heart. Our weapon is our heart. We will raise, how many are we now? We have about over 100. Let's raise at least, if we have 5 children, 5 patriots. 5 times 100, 500. How do you think if we have 500 people who are like the qualities of Jose Rizal? Instantly it will, no, maybe not instantly, but gradually it will change the atmosphere of our country. That's the secret. Believing in a dream, believing that we, each one of you here, I am the key. I am the hope of my nation. If I fail to raise one hero, one patriot, I fail my mission as a mother. I fail my life here on this earth. That kind of determination and commitment we should have. Because I have 4 children. I have 4 living children. But my children will say, Mama, you're so busy. But when I'm grown, let's say when I'm 60, 70 years old, Mama, you were very busy. But what did you do? You know, how much have you done? Why has the people not changed so much? The answer is, you know, I didn't work hard enough. But so for me on a personal level, I have to show to my children that I've worked hard, that every single moment that I was separated from them in my travels, in my work, late at night, every single minute of it is worth it. How difficult it is for me to be here in Philippines. I was, for more than 20 years, I got used to a very comfortable lifestyle. But to be here, it's not easy. It's beautiful. I have new friends. The culture, it's your hometown. Yeah, you can love, but the daily life is not easy. But you know what keeps me moving is this burning desire in my heart. And then there's this urgency of time that in 6 years, I came here because I want to find the formula and give the formula to the Secretary General of the United Nations and President Aquino that corruption could be stopped, could be reversed in 7 years. I started last year. In 7 years, the formula is if women will work together, raise children to become patriots. And corruption, political corruption, social corruption, all kinds of corruption will be a thing in the past. This is my determination. So no matter how difficult my life here, I don't have to go through all the details, but I do enjoy, although it's challenging, I do enjoy, because when I see you here, each of your faces, you came here, you sacrificed your day to listen to what we have to say. That's my inspiration. And I believe in each one of you, in your capacity, in your God-given potential, that you can do it. We can establish a nation of love and peace. Each one of you, I can be a standard bearer of truth, beauty, and goodness. And this is not just my dream. This is not just your dream. This is God's dream. This is my driving force. This is why I wake up every day. This is why I wake up every day and challenge myself that I I want to realize that dream for God 6,000 years ago. He wanted to see a woman who can bloom and realize a family and a nation. God has no nation. Does God have a nation? Does Philippines, can you say Philippines is God's nation? It's not God's nation. But if we make the 20 million women commit to that principle, we can build a nation for God. Kingdom of heaven is not in the air. It's not in the air. It starts from our heart. In reality, when you feel loved by your husband, when you feel loved by your children, that is kingdom of heaven. When you feel cheated and betrayed by your children and husband, that's hell. So, this is my message today, and I would like to ask sincerely from my heart that the road ahead of us is very challenging. You know, every day, sometimes when for me, it feels very, very difficult. I can say to God, I pray in my prayer, I say, Heavenly Father, the road for the pioneers, women leaders, the road is terribly unforgiving. It is unforgiving. But beyond that road, I can see a bright future, nothing but bright future, beautiful families, beautiful women, beautiful nation, a nation without corruption. So that's why I am determined to go over it. Now that I can see you here, I have so much hope. I have so much hope. So today, we will get into details of how we're going to do it, mobilizing our communities. I would like to stop here and let me just, how much time do I have? Okay, 5 more minutes. I want to go to the technical stuff. We have on May 25, we have that's the national level launching of our national campaign. The invitation is in your kit. It's the mothers leading the way in raising children to become patriots of the nation in Cuneta Astrodome, 13,000 women leaders. And I count that you will help me bring busloads of people, in one day, that we can show all over the Philippines that we have 13,000 women strong, that we want a nation, love and peace. So that kind of statement we want to do. But before that, we want to establish 4,000 chapters in Philippines this year alone. By 2020, we want to have 40,000 chapters by 2020. One chapter is only 12 people, right? In your neighborhood, in your city, in your barangay, you have more than 12, right? So just one, and then one chapter, 12. And then the secret ingredient is, it's not like any other organization. One organization is, the mothers will relate to each other under the premise of living for the sake of others, serving each other. When you want to recruit another member, you want to serve and love, and you hold a prayer together, pray for each other's children, pray for the protection of each family, practicing living for the sake of others, loving sincerely as one extended family. We create that 12, and then your neighbor who's not a member said, wow, you're doing something great. Can I be part of your organization? So that's how we expand, by loving and serving. And then from that point on, the result, the power will be exponential. So are you excited? Thank you very much.